All right. This is my ex-girlfriend, by the way. Boom. Huge bow. Did you see that? That was a big bow. This is my apartment. She's, the bed's kind of fucked up, but, whatever. Doing the laundry. And dinner ready. All good to go. Get home from a long podcast day to my apartment. Very long podcast day. She's got the beer ready, the noodles ready, the meat ready. I scolded her about the tomatoes. Why would you just have tomatoes like that? And then you're going to play it once more. Go ahead, just the beginning part. And boom, huge bow. Did you see the bow?
Is that something you make her do?
Make her? What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. Like, what is the? I don't know the backstory on this.
Forcing her, Brian.
And there might be other viewers who don't. Like, is that something that you require?
No, you know what? That's what I've required for my other girlfriends that I've had. Singular, not plural. But I do have to say, the bow, that one came naturally. But you got to instruct. Got to give a bit of hey, this is what I need.
So what you need is for them to bow when you get home?
Indeed.
That's
right.
Wild. Yeah. So then I take back my answer. No, I would not date Brian. That is just
Why is that?
That's weird.
Why is that weird?
It's like degrading.
Have you ever sucked a guy on the first date?
Yeah, we dated for 2.5 years after.
Oh, only one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really don't do a lot of.
So modern women they won't cook, they won't clean, they won't do.
I'll do every other part of that.
Interrupting. Holy.
Fine.
They won't cook, they won't clean, they won't do a totally benign, innocent gesture, but within 30 minutes of meeting a guy, you'll let him splunk on your face. Explain to me how me wanting a woman to bow is insane, but you will let a man literally inside you on the first date.
Okay, first of all, that's such a drastic. Okay.
How is that drastic? Women men within 30 minutes all the time. You guys immediately all the time. You let them do all kinds of sexual acts. So what are you talking about?
Because you're talking to me, not women. And
you've done it. You just admitted you've done it yourself.
Because I did it once when I was 19.
I don't believe this at all, but go ahead.
In the chat, if y'all know me, get in the chat.
You think women don't have casual sex?
I think women do. I'm talking about me. I would not
casual
doubt.
Sex.
Not any time recently in the last
but you've had casual
10
sex.
years of my life. And also, I would do every other part of that.
Huh?
I would do every other part of that. You're like, women. Okay.
Why wouldn't you bow? I thought you're submissive.
Who said that?
Didn't you say you were submissive?
Yes. No. When did I say? Did I?
Yeah. But then you.
Is this gaslighting?
If I said that,
you're kind of like this. You kind of move back and forth. You're like, yes, I'm submissive, but also I'm not. But yes, I am.
Be submissive. I'm okay with doing the cooking and the cleaning and taking care of everything so that you don't have to if you're working and stuff. But that to me just seems like a power trip degrading thing. It doesn't seem respectful.
Well, do you want a man to propose to you?
Yeah, I've been proposed to and never. I've been proposed to.
Do you want to get married again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want a man to get down on one knee.
He doesn't have to do that shit. And I don't even want a wedding or anything. Let's go to the courthouse. We don't have to do all the dramatic shit.
Okay, a lot of women want that.
Right, but we're not talking about them.
So how's it degrading though?
To me, it would feel degrading.
Why?
Because why do you want them to do it?
How is that relevant? Why do the motivations have anything to do with whether you feel it's degrading or not?
The motivations have everything to do with it.
Okay, let's assume it was just kind of a quirky thing and he thought it was cute. Still degrading?
No, but if it's I guess if it's a requirement, then it's not a quirky, funny thing. Wait, didn't last
episode you admitted to being into BDSM? And
no,
Dom sub dynamics?
I said I had.
Are you not into Dom sub dynamics?
No, not in my relationships. I said I tried out some Dommy shit when I was younger, just experimenting, and I was the Dom.
Would you let a guy tie you up during sex?
Yeah. During sex, you're not going to come home and just be like, oh.
You do realize that when it comes to BDSM, these dynamics can go beyond outside just the bedroom?
Exactly.
I'm not even saying that that's within the purview of BDSM, though.
Sure.
Necessarily.
Well, but in regards to that, I don't want a BDSM dynamic and outside of the bedroom.
Why is it degrading?
The motivation, I guess.
Let me ask you a question.
Requirement.
Okay, let me. Would you want your boyfriend or husband to take a bullet for you?
No.
No.
I would rather die. I don't want to have to live with that.
You'll take the bullet then.
Yeah.
So
you're checking the noise at night?
Yes, actually I do.
Awesome.
I have a video of this.
My
house was just
hang on. When you're with a man.
Yes.
Oh, bullshit.
Yes. I had men. All right, listen, it's on video. I can prove it. Okay. There's a male neighbor and my male friend who happened to be at the house, and someone broke in, and I'm the one who came out with the strap, and they were sitting there like, and I'm like, oh my God, if you want to do something, you got to do it yourself. So yeah, I was the one who handled everything.
Did they have straps?
Yes, it was. Yes, we're in the same house. They could have, yes. And actually in the.
I guess stop hanging out with progressives. I don't know.
Dude, no, it's the neighbor. And
okay, but this is not your man. I'm talking about when you're there with your man in your home. Are you checking the noise at night, really?
Yes, because I wouldn't want him to die. Like
I just don't believe that shit. That's like.
It's like.
Up till now, I have believed the things that you said, but I don't think when you have a man at home, when the thing breaks downstairs, you're the one who gets up and goes and checks it out. That's just insane.
Yes, I would, but only because...
No, not I would. You do.
I have. And it's on... I have cameras on my house. It's literally on
that's
camera.
A friend and a neighbor and some shit. I'm talking about your man.
Okay, if we're talking about my man, I'd be even more inclined to, because... when I love somebody, like I love them so much, I don't want to live after they're dead. Like that would just be so like gut-wrenchingly grief-inducing. Like very genuinely, I would probably rather be the one. I mean that.
So Shira, you go check out the noises at night?
Yeah.
Okay.
But and he lets you together.
And they let you. They're like, okay, yeah. You know what? That actually does sound like maybe you should let her get a bite with the vow, because if there's a noise at night, you just go, oh, I'm going back to sleep. Go check it out. I hope you don't die.
So
I think we should check it out together.
Yeah, skip the bow, and she checks out all noises. I think that's a good trade.
I'll accept the trade. I'll accept the trade. Wait, okay, really quick on that though. Can we pull up the thing that I sent in the private chat? Super chats? Oh, yeah, pull that one up really quick. She was a stripper, but a polite bow to a man who loves her is degrading. LOL, we know why she is divorced.
Have you been picked yet in your old age?
Wait.
Have you been picked yet in your old... Look at her. Have you been picked yet in your old age? No? Okay.
Oh my God, I wish Andrew was here right now. This is Andrew's wife.
Oh, fuck. So I guess she has been picked. You have 3 different baby daddies though, right?
Bruh.
Okay. Well, bruh, don't, to be fair.
Aren't you like an ex-sex worker?
No, I was never, like, outside, like, did I f for money? No. Hand to God, no.
You're ex-stripper.
You dance on
OnlyFans.
And I also only danced on stage like topless.
Did you do BG content?
No.
You didn't do any BG content on your...
The only content I ever did was with a boyfriend.
She does, but she wasn't you were.
The only content that I did was with my boyfriend, but mostly just solo posts.
Also, even if Rachel was a pick-me, she got picked by Andrew, who's a great guy.
I've been picked too. What does me being a stripper have to do with bowing?
I don't get this whole pick-me thing. Don't you, like, there's this... Don't you want to be picked?
I mean...
Doesn't everybody want to be picked? Okay, I don't... Anyway, let's get back to the article.
It's not a necessity.
Thank you, Rachel.
I mean, I would, because like I think like that's just like, I don't know, like I would do it, but like I don't think that's a normal thing in a relationship.
Okay. All right. Do you think it's a normal thing in a relationship to have OnlyFans?
No, not at all.
Oh, but you have OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just checking. What about you? Would you do a bow for your boyfriend?
For mine, yeah. But nobody else. If anybody else asked me to do that, I would be completely turned off.
Well, like, so you guys broke up, and then you start dating this new guy. You guys been together for 3 months. He's like, were you down to hit the bow, or you wouldn't do it?
Depends on the person.
What do you mean?
Like, depends on if
you're dating them, you like them, I assume.
Yeah, if I feel like bowing, I guess, or...
What do you mean? Like, but so would you feel like bowing?
For my man, yes. For nobody else, no.
Okay, so if you broke up with your current guy and you were dating a new guy for 3 months, the answer is yes, you would bow for him?
Probably not.
Wait, okay. One more time, just we missed it.
Probably not, no.
6 months? A year?
Maybe like a year and a half. I don't know.
That's a year and a half?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if a guy were to, do you want a guy to be a provider?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he was like, well, I'm going to wait a year and a half to provide for you and pay for dates, would you date a guy like that?
Maybe, because after a year and a half, you start to see people's flaws more. You see more of like the grosser things that they do, and I mean.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Do you want a guy to pay? A guy asks you out on the first date. Do you want him to pay for the first date?
That's unrealistic for a guy to pay for the first date. I mean, if he's going on dates with a bunch of different people, how many dates is he paying for? So I would understand him not paying, but I think anybody would want to be paid for, even. Like, I mean, would you want to be paid for by anybody as a treat? You know, get a really nice meal.
Sure.
Yeah.
But there are different gender expectations on men and women. But so my understanding though here is if you went on a date with a guy and he asked for the date and the waiter comes and he says two checks, no problem.
Yeah, no problem, I guess.
That's fine, because I do believe that that's your position. But a lot of women would have an issue with that. They would say, for example, there wouldn't be a second date if a man didn't pay for the first. But maybe that's not every woman has that standard. I just want to confirm that
maybe
is in fact.
If there's chemistry and you guys can both feel the chemistry right away. Sometimes people need to take time, to get feelings for each other. But I'm saying, like,
I'm assuming even if there was no chemistry, whether he paid or didn't would be irrelevant. Right?
I don't think so. I think that if there's chemistry.
Well, now we're having a separate conversation of, would you have a second date with a man if there was a lack of chemistry?
No. So I would be fine paying and just leaving, because there's no chemistry.
I feel like we're getting a little off track, but
yeah.
So just to confirm, you got chemistry with this guy, but he says 2 checks. Are you okay with that?
I guess so, yeah.
But you'd prefer it not to be.
Why the hesitation? I'm confused.
Because I want to be provided for, like, deep down, But I also want to provide in my own ways, like, at home for somebody. I want to be able to take care of somebody, too,
But, okay, so I'm getting a little ambiguity here. So
yeah, I'm not sure, because I'm not dating right now. But
well, yeah, but I'm trying to put you in the hypothetical. So
yeah.
If you were dating and the guy said 2 checks, would that be a negative mark? Would it be a total deal breaker?
No, if there was chemistry, it would not be a deal breaker. But if
would it be? Sorry, go ahead.
No, wait, what?
No, go ahead. You're fine. Go ahead.
It wouldn't be a deal breaker if there was chemistry. Right. But I would also be like, I would wonder if he was interested too at the same time, or
he tells you he's interested, but he's
right.
a 50-50 guy.
50-50 guy. I mean,
yeah, that's why he's asking for 2 checks.
I might try a few more dates out.
And he's going to remain 50-50 for the entirety and duration of your relationship.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Well,
can you actually tell us what your answer is, or?
Yeah, I wouldn't be so excited.
Probably wouldn't do it.
Probably not.
He said, yeah. I won't be a provider until a year and a half into our relationship.
And you bow.
Maybe there's other parts of the relationship that we want to explore, though, first, besides...
You mean like sex? And getting you pregnant within the first week?
That was different. For him, it wasn't the first week. Yeah. I mean, all of the people I had dated before then, I had waited quite a while, like a few months. But when you know, you know.
Okay. Would you do the bow?
If we've been dating for a little while, yeah, probably.
If you've been dating for a little while, probably.
It wouldn't be like I wouldn't just do it right away.
Okay.
Somebody I just met.
Okay. And then if a guy didn't want to pay for the first date right away, is that okay?
No.
It's not okay?
Mm-mm.
So how long after dating would you have to do the bow?
I guess once it's been made exclusive.
Okay.
After exclusivity. Okay. Your reaction to the bow video, would you do it for a man?
I would rather split a mortgage than bow.
You'd rather...
I'd rather split the cost of a mortgage or a rent than bow.
I'll get the plates. I'll come back there and deal with it.
Just a little bit of feminism in there, is there?
It's not feminism to me. This is actually just a matter of mutual respect, and I don't think that a bow is necessary. I think there are other ways of showing respect and admiration for your partner.
But you would rather go and get a job and split the mortgage rather than give a submissive gesture?
Well, I already have a job. So...
Yeah, well, I know you
I
already
would
do.
Continue.
But let us assume you didn't. You would still rather go get one and get a mortgage rather than show a single submissive gesture?
Well, that's not how the question was posed, because...
But that's what it is.
There could be other submissive gestures that aren't bowing.
Well, what?
We're not in the 1800s or medieval times. I mean,
would you curtsy?
Everything's relative to the time. We're in 2024.
Would you curtsy?
I might curtsy.
Curtsy is different than a bow.
Would you curtsy?
Maybe, because that's feminine. Bow is like, or kneeling is what you do for like the kings or God. Like,
I think there's plenty of women who kneel and they think it's plenty feminine. Just saying.
Well,
I think that there's a large quantity of them, I would say. In fact, I would even go so far as to say that the motion for this particular activity is very bowish, isn't it? It's very
well, I can just do that.
Very bowing. So just saying, well, I don't understand how you just do that but can't show the submission sign, right? It's so weird to me. But
oh my God, are you really?
I think there's other forms of submission in responding to questions and
no, I don't
decisions.
want the bow. I want the curtsy. I think that's twice as degrading. I think it's twice as degrading. No. That's literally, that's saying not only that, you're feminine, but your station is below me. The bow is just mutual respect. Men bow to each other all the time.
It seems a little blasphemous to me.
Blasphemy?
Yeah, it seems a little fucking weird.
What's blasphemous about bowing?
I'm not bowing to anybody but God.
Really?
Amen.
And just want to make sure, because you like that biblical marriage thing, right?
Hey, I will marry an atheist, so that I just make the arguments based off of, because I'm talking to you, and I know that you're religious, and I am too. But I'm like a baby Christian. But so that doesn't factor into every conversation that I have ever.
So you don't follow Christian ethics?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the entailment of Christian ethics?
You want me to like list the?
Well, I just want to know if you're following Christian ethics, then you're following the teachings of Jesus Christ and his apostles, and the teachings of the original church of Jesus, right?
Okay.
Is that correct?
I mean, I don't keep the Sabbath on Saturday, you know.
Yeah, I do.
Sure.
Pizza.
Is he about to hit us? Is he about to hit us with
5, 6,
what?
7,
What?
Yes, I'm just wondering if you follow Christian ethics or not. But because if you do, the idea here is you are supposed to obey.
Alvin Sam donated $20. They have a problem bowing but wants men to pull chairs out and hold doors.
Where did you get that?
Yeah, I know. I'm not getting into the chivalry thing, but just on this, you're supposed to obey your husband as you would unto the Lord, right?
Yeah, but he wouldn't be my husband.
Because he wanted you to bow.
Also, like, why do you have to cuss when you're talking to me all the time? Like, you can talk to me like a human.
I didn't even cuss.
No, not you. No. The conversation is about Brian. In the context of, like, this all started with the would you date him? And I said no because of the bow thing. But that's reflective of other shit, like the...
Why are you bitching about Brian? Who cares? I'm asking you.
This is what all of this is about. Okay, just in general?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question.
Okay, like, would I marry you if you asked me to bow for you?
Yeah, what's the problem with the bow exactly?
Thank you. It's degrading.
What's the degradation exactly?
Because
it's showing that you're not equal, right?
What? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a sign of submission.
Right, but you're also like two parts of one whole in Christianity.
Mm-hmm. And you have a head. The head.
Then they should be the one bowing.
And you're submissive. The body's submissive to the head.
But why? You can be submissive. Oh, thank you. You can be submissive without bowing. I'm not understanding, like, what the fuck is the motivation? I actually, like, really want to know. Is it a kink thing?
Because he wants to see you do it.
It's a kink thing, huh?
Again, we're back to this leadership model of, sure, you can lead when I want you to.
I guess I just wouldn't. No. I guess I just wouldn't be attracted to somebody like that to begin with.
Who wanted you to bow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I'm glad somebody else fucking.
Not in that context, anyway.
Like, Jesus Christ. God.
Well, I mean, it's just it's a
no,
whole
I
lot
would even
of,
maybe do it sexually. Like, I would maybe even role play. I'm not fucking bowing to you every time you come home.
It's just a whole lot of feminism. Like the whole idea is just any form of submission is so heavily resisted. It's just so heavily resisted, but it's like nobody has any good reasons for why it's heavily resisted other than they just don't like it.
Getting back into it, we were talking about the bow.
Mm-hmm. She was wondering your motivations.
Oh, wait. Hold on, let me read these really quick. Realistic heart, the term bow in the context of a woman's role in a relation to a man can refer to a gesture of respect, courtesy, or greeting. Mm-hmm. Yo, realistic heart, thank you so much for the soup chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And let's see. And then these are just below the threshold, guys. It had to have been through Streamlabs, but we will have them pulled up. So thank you, guys. All right. The bow video. I don't know if did you give your take on the bow video? I don't know if we got to you. Would you bow for your man?
He would never ask me to do that, my husband.
If he did.
I think I'd ask why.
Because he wants
Plus, my husband is French. Anything akin to
he's French.
I'm French. Dane Snyder, cheer for okay. I don't know. Sorry.
Wait,
Dane.
what? That would after because of communism?
No, I'm just making a joke about how the French overthrew their monarchy, and bowing is related to that.
So you would not bow for your husband?
I just don't think he would ask me that. So
they threw over their monarchy for an emperor. Like an emperor, literally.
It was just a joke.
Yeah.
So I get that your husband, you don't think he would ask this, but let's assume that he did.
So far, both of us have been working.
How is that relevant?
Because I'm hearkening back to the conversation we had earlier about both the man and the woman working and how that would distribute, I guess, subordinates from the woman's part. It would be, I think, more on par with the man if they're both working. And that's how my relationship has been thus far. But no, I don't.
Wait, you're Christian though, right?
Yeah, we're Catholic.
But so are you not submissive to your husband?
I am.
But so if you're submissive to your husband?
I think bowing I think the connotation behind bowing can be seen as degrading. I think
You're married, right?
Yes.
Did your husband get on one knee to propose to you?
He did, yes.
So he kneeled?
Yes.
Before you?
Yes.
How much did he spend on the wedding ring?
I don't know. I did not ask him.
Sounds pretty degrading.
Here, why don't you hold up your hand and show us your wedding ring? And I don't know anything about wedding rings.
It's a sapphire.
Would you have been upset if he bought you a cubic zirconia?
No.
No? $10 wedding ring? Okay. In any case, he kneeled. He kneeled, right? Just curious, what's a bigger ask, a kneel or a bow?
You kneel once to propose.
No. Just answer the question, though.
A bow is worse.
So, which is easier physically to do, a kneel or a bow?
A bow.
Kneeling, like, I don't know.
Okay, so
I guess there's different kinds of kneeling, like
I don't know. I have a bad back,
fully
so
on the
bowing
ground, or like
if you have a bad back, kneeling is going to be way worse.
No, because you're using your glutes and you're using squatting to support you, not your back.
Lucas donated $200. And, to round it all up, I'm Greek Orthodox as well, both of us by birth. So our household is highly patriarchal with actual cross-generational deference to my father and grandfather when alive.
Interesting.
Awesome, Lucas.
Interesting. By the way, Grid 1, or sorry, not Grid 1, it was LOL Paladins. I know you sent one in, and I think it was, I agree that it just got pushed down. I agree, chair 4. That's why you should DM after the show. I've only had sex with around 500 women, but I'm reformed now and looking to find a good Christian woman to settle down with. That's to you.
Okay.
Okay. Word. Okay. So, wait, going back to Lucas, by the way, thank you for the TTS. Wait, so your husband kneeled.
Mm-hmm.
He kneeled.
Mm-hmm.
That's degrading.
I think that's tradition, and I think that that's not.
That is bowing.
I don't think that that's a commonplace practice for
Common in
women in our
Asia.
society.
Well, yeah, it's
and
not. Wait, but tradition. When you're talking about traditions, what do you mean commonplace?
Meaning that we're not brought up and accustomed to. I thank my husband in other ways, and I show him gratitude in other ways. But I don't think that.
What you mentioned, like tradition.
You're not brought up for tradition at all. Like all of society is essentially railing against traditionalism at all times.
No, but because I live a more traditional lifestyle with my husband, and we do adhere to traditional values, and when a man proposes, he does usually get down on one knee. So that was something. But had he not done that, I would not have been upset. That was something he chose to do.
I don't get this talk about tradition, because women have totally forsaken
that's gone.
their traditional expectations. So it's like women, even liberal, secular, atheist women, like still have their boot on men's neck when it comes to traditional expectations, when it comes to what men need to do: provide, protect.
What else do men need to do?
What else?
Yeah, just provide and protect.
Yeah.
Just
that's it. Sure.
Just. So are you downplaying what that entails?
Well, it's not like, what are you really protecting us from on a day-to-day basis?
From yourself and from external threats.
Like what? Like the chat? No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, like what?
No, mostly dying from the elements.
Ailments?
Elements.
Mm-hmm. Such as McDonald's or?
Such as like, you probably like air conditioning. And you probably like heating. You probably like those.
Well, my dad worked in HVAC for 20 years.
Yeah, you probably like electricity.
I mean,
you probably don't
my mom provided.
You probably don't like to die from a thing called hearth death, which is where you have to cook over a hearth, and so your dress catches fire and you burn alive. That was an actual way women used to die. A lot of them by hearth death. Luckily, though, you don't have to deal with cooking your food over an open fire, and that's because of modern infrastructure, which also enables you to work in almost any type of environment conducive to your needs, temperature controlled for your needs. And it's like, yes, that all comes from, well, wouldn't you know it, men. How many men worked with your father in HVAC?
Countless.
All of them, right? How many women?
I'm not downplaying.
Hang on, I just want to know how many women worked with your father in HVAC.
How many men right now?
How many women?
Women?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think any. Yeah.
Wait, so okay, going back to the whole traditional thing here. So it's just interesting, like, because we're talking about this bow thing, and I bring up kneeling, and you're saying, well, kneeling is this traditional thing. But I'm like, well, women have totally given up their traditional obligations. So it's like, you want men to kneel, you want men to propose, you want men to pay for first dates. You still want men to be leaders and masculine and take initiative when it comes to courtship and all this sort of stuff, chivalry, etc., providing, protecting. But it's like, women are no longer chaste. Women aren't virgins anymore. You're not feminine, you're not submissive. So it's like, that's my, maybe some of you are, and I'm not speaking about the table here, but it's like, if we want to talk about tradition, where's all the virgin women?
Well, me for myself with my husband, when we were speaking earlier, I am pretty traditional, and I do, even when though we don't have children quite yet because we did just get married in May, but even when we've both been working, I still take on the household duties of cooking and cleaning, and I still want to show him that that's something that I would like to pursue even more, especially when we do have children. I would like to hopefully stay at home. I don't know if it's possible in this economy, but
sure,
that is something
well, that's all due to Catholicism, though, right? You're leaning towards Catholicism, so that makes sense. But you would have to agree with Brian that as far as traditionalism, especially when it comes to a Christian household, that's gone, essentially. That's not promoted anywhere unless it's...
I think it's definitely lacking big time. That's why I try to uphold it in my house.
Were you a virgin when you met your now husband?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We met when I was in my earlier 20s, so...
Good.
Well, that's certainly an outlier. Most women are not remaining virgins. So it's just interesting to me that there's this sort of traditional expectation on men, not so much on women.
I would like to ask this question. I ask it almost every panel now, and I'd like to ask it for this one. So secular meaning non-religious, no religion. Can anybody here actually give me a compelling reason, if you were a man, for why you would risk getting married in modernity if you were not religious?
I gave you a few already.
Just one would be good.
Higher life expectancy, longer life expectancy.
Yeah, how much more life do you think the average man gets from being married?
You want me to remember the details of articles?
Do you think it's a lot?
I think it's several years. I believe it was several years.
And was that compounded with how religious they were?
Couldn't say.
Well, the answer is yes. So if it's a non-religious reason, right? I'm looking for a non-religious reason.
You're saying yes, but maybe send the links to the studies, because I don't know that that's even the case.
But you don't even know how much longer the life expectancy is.
Yeah, so it's something we should look at, but I know that it's a fact.
It's a fact for some men.
Just like they make more overall. They do better with health outcomes in the hospital.
We went over the reasons why they make more overall, which is that they mitigate risk, and that's why they live longer too. It's because of risk mitigation, and so
then it's a benefit.
They work longer out. No,
right, but you could argue why.
It's a trade-off, not a benefit. Trade-off.
Okay, that benefits them.
Trade-off. Okay, well, let me ask you a question. Do you think that a man would rather work 15 hours more a week or sit on his ass and play video games?
I can't argue this because I don't know that.
I'm asking you.
The work time.
What do you mean? Let's just assume, we're just going to assume
hypothetically.
Let's say 10 hours. Do you think that he would prefer to work 10 additional hours of overtime a week or not have to do that so that he can take those 10 hours for some type of recreation like video games, shooting guns, hunting, fishing, hanging out with the boys and drinking, or any number of those things?
If it took years off of his life, I don't know what
years being years. You're talking about a life expectancy. You're talking about 1.3 or 1.2. It's negligible. Negligible for most men. Now, if they're heavily religious, that increases. That's true. But we're talking about secularists here. So the thing is here's my question. Even if I were to grant it, let's just say it was 4 years or 5 years even, right? And you were to ask a man, okay, hey, look, you can go bust your ass for an additional, 10 or 15 hours per week. Okay. Or you can spend the time doing recreation, right? And the type of recreation you do is going to be slightly more dangerous. Okay. That's what shaves off the life expectancy. That's what's so bothersome to me about your argument, is because you act like they're just they just live longer. No, that's not how averages on life expectancy work. If you are moving towards high risk behavior, your life expectancy decreases. So it's just the fact that they can go out and do recreational things that are slightly dangerous is going to increase the chances that they die.
Okay, but there's a lot of variables to this. You can be dating somebody and not be married, and your partner still not want you to go out and do things. You might be limited to what you're allowed to do within the parameters of a relationship where you're not married.
Not on average. Here's what's going to happen on average. Here's what is happening on average. I'm literally explaining it to you, and it logically makes sense as well. You and I would agree that when you're talking about life expectancy, right, you're averaging this, right? So you're taking all of the averages of these men. Well, so here's what we find inside of these studies, okay? Especially this one you're talking about with increased longevity, health benefits, things like this, okay? if a man is working in his job for an additional 5 or 10 hours or whatever, not every job is going to be blue collar, right? They're just not. However, a lot of white collar people still do high risk activities, just like blue collar people do for recreation, because they're men. Men do higher risk activities. So if you take the time in the workplace away, and now they have more time for high-risk activities, more of them will die doing recreation. Therefore, the average life expectancy decreases. That is, you say that this is a trade-off? No, not really. All it is, oh, now I can have fun, and that slightly increases my chance of dying early. Oh, no.
and being healthier. But like earlier, Brian mentioned that...
Well, no, it's not healthier.
Well, yeah, they are healthier on average as well. So it's not just that they don't die as often as that they...
Can we just reject
no,
this
hang on.
study?
Hang on. Healthier, first of all, no, it's not that they're healthier. It's that they have more doctor checkups. That's it. That's the only distinction.
So okay, but earlier, like, she had asked, what do men protect us from? And Brian mentioned yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't think, and I agree. I can tell you, men have been like, drive better, like, for one example, and that's valid. You don't think that it's a benefit?
Like they build all the roads.
Okay, but you don't think it's oh my gosh. You don't think it's a benefit that you have someone in your life to like help you take less risky behaviors, or like you don't think that it's overall a benefit?
No, not if I look at the high risk of divorce. So what I'm looking at.
You're saying that outweighs.
What I'm looking at is the mitigation, right? I'm just looking at the risk versus mitigation from a secular standpoint. Okay. So I go, okay, so here's what I look at.
You just asked, what are any benefits?
No, what I'm asking you specifically is this: a compelling reason as a secularist to get married. You say, okay, it's because your life expectancy could increase. My argument to this is, yeah, not really. What's happening instead is that your recreation time is actually decreasing, and because the forms of recreation men do are dangerous, you could end up dying, and so it brings the entire average down. That's what's going on there. And then 2, what about the risk of divorce, which I think far outweighs all of these? So
well, that part is fair.
So my question again is, my initial question was a compelling reason. I'm looking for a compelling reason for a secularist to get married.
That like outweighs the risk of divorce?
Outweighs the risk of everything else, yeah. That would be compelling.
Honestly, I don't think I would even do it, so... But there are benefits to marriage, and I don't want to discredit that.
Nobody would argue that there's benefits to marriage. I'm not arguing
Well, that's why I answered the way I did, though, because initially you just said give one reason to get married.
No, I didn't. I said give me a good, compelling reason.
Okay.
Yeah, compelling. So if when I think compelling, I think I should do this based on this reason.
Well, you could say there's like tax and financial benefits, but you could do that technically without marriage too.
You can. Yeah. So I mean, I don't understand from the I've thought about this a million times, because I'd love to tell secularists that they should get married, right? You should, but I can't give them a good reason why they should.
For love and to commit to somebody until you die.
Sure. Why do you need marriage for that?
There's a lot of you can whole life insurance thing.
You can get life insurance without being married.
Yeah, I'm power of attorney too.
Yeah. It's a commitment. It's a commitment on paper.
You can commit to people
it's also
with
traditional.
You can commit to each other on paper, never get married.
Also, you can get married and then uncommit easily.
Yeah, you can break it easier than you can a cell phone contract. You can literally get out of your marriage easier than a cell phone contract,
unless they keep filing for retrials.
So the thing is like, I'm trying to figure out what is a good, compelling reason for a person who's non-religious to get married, and I always come up with the same kind of answers, right? It's like, what about commitment? Well, you can still commit. What about children? You still have children. Like, what's the benefit to them?
Love. It's not, I guess, compelling to everybody, but I would say love.
Can't you have love without marriage?
Yeah, of course.
Or look.
Yeah.
Okay. So, not love then.
What do you mean?
I mean, you just conceded that you can have love without marriage.
Can have love without marriage? Yeah. Can have love with marriage?
Right. So, but you said should get married because love.
But yeah, for love, because you love each other and you guys want to put that on paper.
Okay. As the man says, I don't want to get married, but I still love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not a compelling reason for men to get married.
What would you say? It's a compelling reason.
I don't think there is one.
I'm against marriage.
No, you're not against religious marriage.
I'm not. Yeah, I should be more precise. I don't have objections to religious marriage. I'm not getting married though.
Not even religiously? Or?
He's not religious.
I'm not religious.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Andrew's working on me.
He'll
get me there. Yeah, I don't see the point of marriage. I'm not going to do it. It's a bad deal for men.
Yeah, secularly, there's no purpose.
Yeah, I can't think of a single good reason. And I argue, it's pretty funny, I argue with Catholics about it all the time, right? Because they're like, well, natural law. But
I think the biggest reason is just to say that you have a husband or a wife, honestly.
Or the wedding, but I don't even want the wedding.
Well, no, the benefits are very compelling for secular women. They're just not very compelling for secular men. There's several reasons I could think of which are very compelling for secular women to get married. I just can't think of any for secular men to get married. Seems like a really bad deal.
Not even money?
For the man?
Yeah, for the man.
No.
Maybe she has more money.
Nope.
Then maybe do it.
Nope. What's really interesting is that even when you have a gap, that seems to flip. So that's what's interesting, right? It seems to flip. So the question becomes, what is the actual reason for a secularist to get married that is compelling? She argued some kind of basic stats, they're interesting stats, don't get me wrong. I thought they were pretty good too. I tangled up with several people, and I've even utilized those stats, right? But I parse them out differently. The biggest issue is that, again, even with her stats, it comes down to the religion being kind of the bigger correlate for these things, for the life expectancy, everything else. So I just wonder.
Bob Evans, thank you for the gifted 50.
So I just wonder what the compelling reason is, and I don't think we have one, Brian.
I don't think so. I'm a little confused here, though. You said money.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, anyone can marry for money, and then
no.
What do you mean?
You mean as a reason to get married?
Yeah, it's a compelling reason for some.
She's saying that it would be a compelling reason for a secular man to get married if the woman was loaded.
That's if.
Yes.
But the reality is that most women, even secular women, are not prepared to take on a man like that.
Yeah, but you know what? I would make the concession here that if I were a secularist and like the woman was beautiful and a multimillionaire, right? Then yeah, I think I would marry her. Like that seems like it would be pretty compelling, unless she wanted a prenup.
But the issue is,
right?
I mean, there's a couple issues here. I mean, I think the first one, even among secular couples, typically the man is the breadwinner.
Yeah.
So while I will grant that there are men who will marry women who earn more than them, and in the event of a divorce, they would stand to benefit financially in some way. This is exceedingly rare. Women who, I mean, kind of bringing it to dating a little bit, women who are high earners typically don't want to date men who are not at their level. Women are very good at doing this.
What about for children?
Hold on. Women are very good at their stated preference of, I only want a man who's on my level or higher. So for example, a female attorney, not going to date the fast food worker. Male attorney, he'll date an attractive, pleasant, feminine, submissive fast food worker. But so, what was your question there?
Oh,
what about the?
I was saying for having a child.
Yeah, but just
what
like
does that? Wait, just explain it. What do you
were
mean
saying something about why would a woman want to get together with a guy who was poor if she was loaded? Maybe because she's like at the end of her childbearing years and she really wants a kid and she's in love with this guy. There's plenty of cases like that.
Well, not plenty, but maybe some. I mean, I would just be willing to kind of grant it as an outlier that if I were a secular man and for some reason some chick who was really loaded and a multimillionaire wanted to get married with no prenup, yeah, I might do it then. Right? Maybe that would be a compelling enough reason, right? But even if I grant that that is not going to be the case for basically any secular man who exists. So the advice of them probably not getting married seems still like it's pretty sound advice. But still, I'd be willing to grant it.
My potential future brother-in-law did just marry like a super hot rich chick, and he's like not loaded.
What's he do for
so
work?
It happens. I don't know. I think he studied like some kind of liberal arts stuff. Like I don't know. I don't think he does anything right now. I could be wrong.
That's cool. It happens.
But
it happens.
It happens.
But it ain't going to happen to many people.
It's not common.
No.
Just like how you're a liberal woman, and even you want a man to be a provider and protector and to pay for on the first date.
I'm independent.
Huh?
I'm an independent
Are
woman.
you progressive?
Yes.
Maybe a little.
You're you're pro-choice. I'm assuming you have other leftist or liberal.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
There's just no party
are
that
you voting
represents
Harris?
me. Who knows?
That's a yes.
Yeah, that's it. Totally, it's a yes. For sure.
But I mean, to, I guess, expand on my point here, even liberal women want men to be providers and pay for first dates. So it's like, as a guy, I can't go into a first date with the expectation that she's going to pay for the entire bill. But I'm pretty sure every single one of you at this table has gone on a date with a guy, and it wasn't even a concern in your mind. You knew he was going to pay for the first date. Just show of hands.
I don't think that's fair.
Show of hands.
I always offer.
That's cool. Have you been on a singular first date?
You always offer.
Hold on.
What?
Yeah.
Show of hands. Have you been on one singular first date where the guy paid the entire bill?
I can't remember.
You can't remember?
I can't remember, yeah.
You've never been on a first date where you went to a food place and
no,
you just...
I have, yeah. I have.
Okay.
It's been so
All
long.
right. It's been so long. All
For
right.
me, I grew up in Los Angeles, so I feel like the expectation, especially like in the community that I was growing up in, I would always bring my wallet just in case. I wasn't going to expect it.
Right, but did they still pay?
Sometimes they didn't.
Right, but have you had the experience, like, more often than not, they would pay for the first date?
I would say about half.
50% of the time. Mm-hmm. If my expectation as a man was 50% of the time she had to pay for the date,
she can bow 50% of the time when you come home.
I would be leaving those dates with a lot of pissed off women. They'd laugh in my fucking face if I was like, "You're not getting this?" Women would laugh in my fucking face if I was like, "Oh, you're not paying for the whole date?"
I actually went on a date once where we were going to eat and then go to a movie, and I paid for my own food when we went to eat. And then afterwards, when we went to the ticket booth to purchase the tickets, he walked away. So I had to pay, and I felt very awkward, so I just did it.
Ironically, I do often pay, but this is like modern dudes, but I often do pay for both. But that's not who I want, though. So like, it doesn't discredit his overall point.
All right. We have Realistic Heart here. It is unfortunate to be listening to so much evidence of programmed contrarians. Try to occasionally let go of your feelings and embrace the logic. W. Andrew. Yo, thank you, Realistic Heart. I appreciate your super chat.
I have to run because I thought it was like ending at 9, and
Why
I have
did you think
work.
That?
Well, because it was going to be 4 to 9. I thought we were starting at 4 sharp. So I actually have to run. But
you're not going to stay for the rest of the show?
Well, it's been 5 hours now, right?
What's that?
It's been 5 hours, right?
What? What do you mean?
I thought we were starting at 4 sharp, so thought we were...
meet time is 4, and then we...
When are we going until?
I mean, we try to wrap around 11:30 or 12.
Lucas donated $200. Marrying this generation of women is a game of Russian roulette for a man. 80% divorce is initiated by women, something like 90% of alimony paid from men to women, same percent for child support and weekend dad.
Lucas, thank you very much for the TTS. Appreciate it. I mean, I just looked at the notes we sent you. I said we aim to wrap it. For you, this has changed because this was sent back in March of 2024. We've since changed this. I did say we aim to wrap at 10 p.m. So I don't know where you got the 9 number. In more recent messages, I tend to say, but may go longer. But
Okay.
yeah. So do you want to stay? I mean, I'm not going to force you. You don't have to.
I thought that it was only through 9, but I guess I'm also on the East Coast, so I didn't realize.
Okay. I mean, I didn't even get to your notes, but
sorry, I'm sure you guys will be fine without one less linebacker with a blonde wig. So be fine.
Do you want to at least I can get through your notes?
I'm good. It's all right. Thank you so much.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so I'll get through the rest of the notes then. Let's see here.
Tortured.
Tortured, yeah.
Tortured.
All right, we have